So I recently just created a top 5 list of the best upcoming historical movies of 2024 and 2025. But while I was doing some more research this past week, I came across some even more fantastic movies coming out in the next year or so. And I thought it only made sense to make a top 10 list of the best upcoming historical movies of 2024 and 2025, as there are some truly spectacular historical movies currently in the works that will be getting released to a cinema near you in the very near future. But before we begin, don't forget, if you love anything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows, to subscribe to my channel, History Spark. At number 10, it is Firebrand, an upcoming historical film starring Alicia Vikander and Jude Law. And once again, it'll be another movie based around the life of Henry VIII. But before you give a sigh of disbelief and disregard this upcoming film, Firebrand brings a unique twist to the story by focusing on Henry VIII's last wife, Catherine Parr. And this movie will focus around the events before and after the death of Henry VIII. Catherine Parr often gets overshadowed by the many other wives of Henry VIII, but I'm glad to see a movie coming out focusing exclusively on her life. Firebrand will be released into cinemas worldwide on June 21st, and early reviews for the film have been fairly positive. And I definitely hope it does well in the box office to encourage studios to continue pumping more money into historical movies and historical films. At number 9, it is Bonhoeffer, an upcoming historical drama which tells the extraordinary story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German pastor and theologian who was a vocal critic of the Nazis and the Third Reich, and he did all in his power to help fight against the wave of hatred against the Jews that was spreading across all of Germany, and he was even accused of being involved in the 20 July plot to assassinate Hitler and several top-ranking Nazis. And whether this accusation was true or not, it eventually leads to his execution. Dietrich Bonhoeffer lived a very fascinating and truly inspiring life, and was a symbol of hope to many Jews in Germany, and I'm really glad to see that Angel Studios is bringing his story to life. Bonhoeffer is scheduled to be released to cinemas all across the world on November 2024, and I would recommend everyone go out and watch this movie because it does highlight the life of an extraordinary individual that deserves to have his story told on the big screen. And number 8 is The Promised Land, a Danish historical drama which tells the story of Ludwig Colette, who heads into the heats of Jutland during the 1700s to bring himself glory, or accept that the wild terrain, bandits, and the wild beasts will get the best of him. This film stars Mads Mikkelsen as Ludwig Cullen, and it is being directed by Nicolaj Orsell. These two have previously collaborated together on a film called The Royal Affair, which was a very well received and positively reviewed film. The film has already been released in Denmark and a few select other countries, and early reviews of this film have been truly extraordinary, currently sitting at a 93% approval rating from audiences and a 7.7 on IMDb. The Promised Land will be getting released to UK and US cinemas later on this year, so be sure to check it out. At number 7, it is Hannibal, an upcoming historical film based around the Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca, who became one of the greatest threats to the Roman Republic and his power. The events and the battles of the Second Punic War are legendary, and it is a part of ancient Roman history that is long overdue a high budget and high quality film. Hannibal will be a Netflix original film, and it will star Denzel Washington in the starring role as Hannibal, but no other cast members have been confirmed as of yet. This upcoming historical epic will have Denzel pairing up with Antoine Fuqua once again, and they have worked previously on the Equalizer series and the Training Day films together. It is really reassuring to see Netflix is dedicating a large budget to this project and trying to get top tier talent for Hannibal where possible, as they've also been able to recruit John Logan on board to write the script for this film. And he has worked on the script for Gladiator previously, so he's very familiar with writing for an ancient Roman historical backdrop. That's all the information I have right now for the Netflix original film based on Hannibal. But as I find out more information, I'll be sure to keep you all updated, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. At number 6 is The Ghost of Tsushima, an upcoming historical movie based off of the hit PlayStation exclusive game, and the basic premise of the story goes as follows. A samurai named Jin Sakai is one of the last surviving members of his clan after facing a brutal defeat at the hands of an invading Mongol force. And the rest of the story is pretty much based around the actions Jin decides to take to help get rid of the Mongol threat from Tsushima and avenge his fallen comrades. We have very little confirmed information about the Ghost of Tsushima movie at the moment. All we know so far is that Chad Stahelski has been brought on board to direct the film, and Sony will be producing this movie. And the script for this movie is almost complete, meaning we will be heading into pre-production at some point this year. We'll hopefully be finding out more about this upcoming film over the next couple of months, and I'll be sure to keep everyone updated as I find out more about Ghost of Tsushima, the movie. The fifth spot on this list goes to the upcoming prequel that has been confirmed to the Master and Commander movie, which starred Russell Crowe as Captain Jack Aubrey. There's very little known about this movie except that it is still in the very early stages of development and that most of the original cast will not be returning for this film. The only confirmed detail we have so far is that the screenplay is being written by Patrick Ness and that possibly Tom Holland may have some sort of role within this upcoming movie. But as I find out more about the Master and Commander prequel, I'll be sure to make a dedicated video to all the latest news and updates around this new Master and Commander movie. And number 4, it is The Conquest, William the Conqueror, which is an upcoming historical film dedicated to the legendary monarch's life, and have already created a video giving an in-depth look at everything we know about this new William the Conqueror movie, so there will be a link in the description below if you want to check that out. But The Conquest is being directed by Solomon J. LaFleur, and he has stated that he is looking to make this film as historically accurate as possible, which is a refreshing thing to hear in this day and age. There are no confirmed castings for this film as of yet, but there are rumors that Tom Hiddleston and Christian Haydenson are being eyed to play the lead roles in this movie. I personally feel that William the Conqueror is one of the most overlooked historical figures from medieval history, and I for one am glad to see someone finally stepping up to make a film based around his life and his many conquests. And number 3 is the upcoming Peaky Blinders movie, which will be the conclusion to the hit TV series based around Tommy Shelby and his crew of misfits, who are a powerful force within Birmingham and the surrounding areas. This upcoming historical movie has been confirmed to be 2 hours in length, and the Peaky Blinders will take the Shelby family into the backdrop of World War II. And we may even find Tommy Shelby politically fighting against fascism in Parliament, and the newer, younger Shelby generation perhaps being out on the front lines of the war. There is very little concrete information about the Peaky Blinders film outside the fact that it will be set in World War II. Cillian Murphy and Paul Anderson have agreed to reprise their roles for the movie, and that this film will wrap up the story of Tommy Shelby completely. But I trust Steve Knights to do a great job of bringing the final end of the Shelby story to our screens in a magnificent way, and I can't wait to see this film when it gets released at some point in 2025. And number 2, it is The Passion of the Christ Resurrection, the long-awaited sequel to the Passion of the Christ movie, which came out nearly 20 years ago. This movie will be having Mel Gibson return to the production chair, and he's also finishing up the script for the movie right now. Jimmy Caviezel is also confirmed to return to play the role of Jesus Christ, and the plot of this film will focus on events that occurred between the 3 days of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus Christ, with biblical events such as the fall of the angels and the harrowing of hell being key events that will be depicted in this movie. It will be interesting to see what Mel Gibson has in store for us in the sequel film to Passion of the Christ, as the first film had a huge impact when it first got released, and I assume this sequel will have an even larger one. So be sure to check out Passion of the Christ when it gets released at some point in most likely 2025. And the top spot on this list goes to Gladiator 2, the long-awaited sequel to the thrilling historical epic film Gladiator, which got released over 20 years ago. We actually have a lot of information available for this upcoming historical movie, and I've actually done a full in-depth video on everything we know so far about Gladiator 2, and there will be a link to that in the description below. But Gladiator 2 has a tentative release date of Friday, November 22nd, 2024, and the confirmed cast for the sequel is Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, and Pedro Pascal, just to name a few. So definitely some talented stars involved in this project. And of course, Ridley Scott will be returning to produce and direct this film, and hope he does a better job with it than he did with Napoleon. But Gladiator 2 is definitely the film that I'm most excited to watch this year, and I'm hoping after such a long wait it will live up to the hype. But that is my recommendation of the top 10 historical movies that are coming out in 2024 and 2025. Let me know in the comments below which movie you are most looking forward to. And remember, if you love anything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows, then subscribe to my channel History Spark, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.